Again, this isn't your trial. Your guilt or innocence is not being determined, but just a preliminary determination regarding the state's case. I will deny the motion to continue today's hearing. All of the parties are here, and I believe everything absolutely necessary to go forward has been provided. I will order that the state immediately, as soon as possible after our hearing, try to provide the glasses or have that issue resolved. If it can't be resolved by providing his actual glasses from evidence for whatever reason, then I would ask the state to confer and work with the Apache County Sheriff's Office to make sure that sufficient
Yes, Your Honor.
glasses are provided. All right, Mr. Lee, anything additional before the preliminary hearing?
No, sir.
Ms. Collins, go ahead and call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls to the stand Deputy Cole Soderquist.
Come on up. Before you sit down, I'll have you sworn in by the clerk.
You don't have to, I'm not going to get the truth, so help you God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Just state your name and badge number, and then go ahead, Ms. Collins.
My name is Deputy Cole Soderquist, badge number Apache 22.
As you were sitting here with the judge's remark about training experience, I'm going to just have that brief, but how long have you worked for the Apache County Sheriffs?
Since January of this year.
Judge, I apologize. I didn't invoke the rule. I believe the state's going to call additional witnesses.
Thank you. I did just realize that. Do you have a case? Is Deputy Soderquist your case officer?
He is my case agent. Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And do you have other witnesses that are here?
We spoke earlier prior to the hearing that they should not be in here, so I'm unaware of any witnesses inside our courtroom.
Right. And Mr. Brewer, Mr. Lee, no witnesses that you intend to call?
No, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Collins.
And so can you, in terms of this case, as the case agent, can you just give a brief understanding of what you've reviewed before today?
Yes. So are you asking me about the initial call for service?
The call for service, police reports, medical records, et cetera. What have you seen? What have you reviewed before today?
Just about everything that we have. On the 27th, I was contacted by Sergeant Arona, asked, what's that?
Go slow.
I was contacted by Sergeant Arona and asked to assist in this case. I'd found out that he was at LCMC, the hospital in Winslow, for a call of a 10-year-old that was unresponsive and unconscious that was found on the side of the road.
And so when you get the call on July 27th with an unconscious 10-year-old on the road, and prior to today, you have seen the reports from those different agencies that were involved and the medical records?
Yes.
And so does that also include the statements from both defendants?
Yes.
And after this call and later that night, did you also go to the scene, serve the search warrant and go inside?
Yes, I did.
And have you also reviewed at least the portion of the DCS records that have been provided and the Empower Prep records?
Yes.
So you get the call July 27th and you become the case agent. Can you give me a brief understanding? We've got a 10-year-old, is that RB?
Yes.
And can you take us a step back? This is July 27th. Based on the investigation, who are her parents?
Richard Baptiste and Anicia Wood.
Do you see them here in the courtroom today?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Can you identify them?
Yes. Mr. Baptiste is sitting there with his counsel to my left, and Mrs. Woods is behind Richard.
May the court reflect on to the record that he's identified the two defendants.
The record will so reflect.
So when did you learn, based on the investigation, that they arrived in Apache County?
According to the initial interview with Sergeant Arona, it was July 6th.
Maybe.
And so, and this occurred on July 27th. So they were here for approximately 3 weeks.
Correct.
And in your time and where did they move to?
Out in River Meadows Ranch, out in Hunt, Arizona.
Can you briefly describe how rural that is?
It's nothing but dirt roads, surrounded by trees with small structures spread out throughout the middle of a field of trees.
And in terms of being to their resident, can you give an approximate of where the closest neighbor would have been?
Approximately for 4-ish miles. There was nobody around that exact residence.
And so based on the investigation, did either of them ever give any indication that anyone else had care or custody of the 3 children between July 5th and July 27th?
No,
And I mentioned 3 children, so we've got RB. Were there 2 other children that they moved here from Phoenix?
yes, there was.
And can you just give us their initials?
KB1 and KB2.
And in terms of KB1, how old is KB1?
I believe he's 10 or 8.
And then KB2?
6.
And so they did not admit that anyone else had care and custody. You mentioned the 6th.
Leading.
Didn't get to the question yet.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
You mentioned July 6th. Was there another family member who was going to live with them, but something changed on July 6th?
Yes, there was.
And who is that?
Sean Fouts, Richard Baptiste's father.
And so
I
based on,
apologize. What was that last name?
Fouts, Fouts.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
and based on your knowledge of the case through the period of July 5th to the 27th, was he in custody?
Yes, he was.
And without going into details, is Mr. Fouts, well, can you explain how they got this land, just very briefly?
So
Objection foundation.
Based on the investigation, did you determine how they were able to locate to live on this land?
yes,
Judge, that's meaning based on a bunch of hearsay that we haven't demonstrated those folks are reasonably going to be present for trial. And so we need to get who he's getting these statements from and whether they're going to be available for trial. Otherwise, it's not admissible hearsay.
Was the question how they did what on the land?
How they came to live on the land? I can ask more specifics, Judge, if you'd like.
I'll sustain just briefly the objection, a little bit of foundation. Go ahead.
So let me just establish a broad foundation with you real quick. So Sean Fouts, has law enforcement spoken to him?
yes,
And has he agreed to testify at trial if needed?
yes,
Has law enforcement spoken to the neighbors throughout the ranch area?
yes, they have.
And has it been determined that they would be willing to testify at trial?
Yes,
Did you go to Phoenix at some point to work on this investigation?
yes, I did.
And when you were in Phoenix, what places did you go to?
I went to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. I went to the Empower College Prep. I went to the apartment complex that they lived at. I attended the autopsy. I attended the funeral. And that's it for Phoenix.
And when you spoke to the different teachers and administration at Empower Prep, did you speak to them about being available to testify at trial?
Yes,
And did they indicate that they would?
yes, they did.
And how about the neighbors at the apartment complex they had lived in just prior to moving here?
Yes,
Were they willing to testify?
yes, they are.
You talked about multiple medical facilities. There's Phoenix Children's as well as Little Colorado. Is it your understanding that if any subpoenas were served on any of the medical professionals involved in this case, they would testify at trial?
Yes, they would.
So then if we can go back to how they came about living on the land, I think, can you explain how they moved into this ranch?
So according to Sergeant Arona, Mr. Baptiste had stated in an interview that it was left to his father on a piece of paper by their uncle.
And so it's their uncle who, it's Mr. Fouts' uncle that passed away, leaving the land to Sean Fouts.
Correct,
And therefore, Mr. Baptiste moved there with his family in July.
correct.
And so at that time, based on your understanding, investigation, and being there, is there any water?
No, there's not.
How about electricity?
No, there's not.
And there is a community well. Do you know approximately how far that is from there?
I do not.
Did you see it when you drove to the residence?
I did not.
And so let's start with the yurt, the residence. Can you describe briefly for the court the conditions the yurt was at the time that you saw it?
Yes. So at the time that we served the search warrant, when we entered the yurt, it was covered in clothes and trash all over the floor, along with animal feces.
And in terms of The size, can you give an approximate size?
Maybe 20 by 20.
And were there other buildings around?
Yes, there was.
Were those being used based on what you could tell?
Except for the bathroom, no.
And so as you looked around, do you recall the bedding situation?
Yes, I do.
What was the bedding situation like?
There was a queen mattress on the south side. There was an air mattress on the north side, and then a swinging porch pad on the floor next to the queen size bed.
And based on the investigation, the statements or anything, including the statements from the children, did you understand the bedding arrangement?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe that for the court?
Yes, Richard and Anicia stayed in the queen bed on the south side. KB1 and KB2 stayed on the north side on the air mattress, and RB slept on the chair cushion on the floor.
And in terms of RB sleeping on the chair cushion on the floor, who did that information come from?
From the Navajo County Detective's supplemental reports.
And let me ask you a little more clarification. Did one of her brothers describe that to law enforcement?
Yes,
And did he explain why she had to sleep on the floor?
yes, he did,
What did he say?
because she was in trouble.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked as. Give me a whole, what's the number? Page 74 through 95. I'm going to show them to you in a minute. I'm going to let defense counsel see them. In terms of the crowded space in there, how much water did you see?
None.
How about a bathroom?
I did see a bathroom.
Was the bathroom inside the yurt or in another building?
It was in another building.
And based on your understanding, was the bathroom usable at that time?
No,
And so, while you're in the bathroom, is there something that stood out to you that was unusual for you to find in there?
yes, there was.
Can you describe to the court what you located in the bathroom?
It was a hairbrush with large clumps of blonde hair.
Blonde hair?
Yes,
And you've seen pictures of RB?
correct.
Color is her hair?
Blonde.
During the investigation, was there information? Well, I'm sort of getting in front of myself here. I want to show the court, I want to show you what's been marked as state's exhibits. 74 through 95. Look, oh, these are mine.
Yes, they do. A belt and a hairbrush.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what's been marked as state's exhibit 74 through 90. Can you briefly look through these? 95. Do these look like pictures? Serial and the interior of the Baptiste and Anicia Wood.
Yes, they do. Because I was there as they were taking the photos.
Did you also review?
Yes, I have.
So we 74 through 95. These all accurately depict what it looked like.
Yes, they do.
Your
All right, any objections, Mr. Brewer,
No.
Mr. Lee?
sir.
The state will admit state's exhibits 74 through 95. Again, that admission will be in both matters.
So let's go back. Now we've got a better understanding of the conditions the children were living in. Based on the investigation, was it your understanding that it's that entire time period there was no electricity or water?
Yes, it is.
And so when when RB is on the side of the road with the medical personnel, there is an officer, well, let me ask you, there's a body worn video from Officer Williams that was one of the first on the scene. Have you reviewed that prior to today?
Yes, I have.
And in that, there is a question from one of the officers asking about if RB had been in an accident that day. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
And how did Baptiste and Woods respond?
In unison, they said, no, she ran away.
So no accident and no one else had custody of her.
Correct.
So I want to talk a little bit about how medical professionals got involved. Were there 911 calls?
Yes, there was.
And based on that information, have you reviewed or summarized or seen the summary of the 911 calls?
Yes, I have.
And is there anything that stood out specifically about the 911 calls regarding Defendant Woods when asked about if she understood CPR?
Yes, there was.
Object. There's no reasonable likelihood that Ms. Woods is going to be able to testify. This is an out of court statement. It's hearsay. And so I don't believe it's admissible, at least with respect to my client.
All right. I'll overrule the objection and go forward.
So when she was asked about providing CPR, if she knew CPR, what was her response?
Yes, unfortunately.
Based on your understanding from the investigation, did she have a medical background?
Yes,
And what was her medical background?
she was a CNA.
Do you know what CNA stands for?
I do not.
But it's a medical professional in some capacity.
Correct.
Did she describe it in her interview, sort of how long she'd worked?
I believe so.
So let's go back to Officer Williams and the body worn camera that you've reviewed. Have you also reviewed her supplemental report?
Yes, I have.
And so when she first gets on the scene, can you describe what she said, what her condition was?
So when she first arrived on scene, RB was laying flat on her back on the side of the road. Officer Williams described her as being yellow, unconscious, unresponsive, and she could not find a pulse, so she started CPR.
And did she give any observations in her supplement report about the condition RB was physically, her body?
Yes.
Can you describe that?
She was severely dehydrated and malnourished.
How about any physical aspects in terms of specific things on her body?
She had bruises all over her body. Her lips were really dry and she was yellow in color.
Did you say yellow in color?
Yes.
In terms of some more of the first people on the scene, did you review the supplemental report from Trooper Larson from DPS?
Yes, I did.
And when he arrives on the scene, can you describe why he was there?
From his supplement, he stated he had observed ambulances running code and he went to assist. And when he found out it was for an unresponsive 10-year-old female, he asked the ambulance staff if there's anything he could do to help.
And what direction did they give him?
To ask questions to Mr. Baptiste and Mrs. Woods.
And so specifically with Miss Woods, did he get any information from her about RB's condition?
I believe so.
And so based on that, do you recall the specifics that he gave? This is DCS. Based on the specifics did he talk about her dehydration?
Yes.
And can you describe what he said?
That I believe her lips were very dry. She was severely dehydrated, and Mrs. Woods had stated they were having
Again, I'm just gonna have a running objection to any statement made by Ms. Woods, so I don't have to continue to make that.
All right, we'll note for the record, Mr. Brewer's objections to hearsay statements regarding Ms. Wood's statements. I have heard that objection. I will overrule it. Appreciate Mr. Brewer has now put it on the record so he doesn't have to continue to remake. Go ahead, Ms. Collins.
Yes, I need her marked one. I might not. Your Honor, may I have just a moment?
Yes.
So if I can take you back to the statements that Ms. Woods made, what did she specifically talk about in terms of the dehydration level that RB was experiencing at that time?
Objection foundation.
I'll overrule the objection.
That she would choke on trying to drink water out of a straw, so they had to sponge feed her water.
Supplemental report of DPS Trooper Larson.
Yes.
Would it help you to look at his supplement to be able to give the details that Ms. Wood specifically talked about with RB?
Yes, it would.
So I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 7.
Judge, I don't believe he's indicated he didn't recall anything. And so I'm curious as to why he's having his recollection refreshed.
All right, I'll overrule the objection. Is it Exhibit 71? Thank you.
And to clarify, to answer defense counsel's question, what I'm looking for is the specifics that Anicia described, extreme amount of dehydration and how she was feeling.
Okay.
Can you tell us what, now that you've been able to look?
Yes, Trooper Larson had asked her if this has happened before, referring to her collapsing. And she said the first or second time she believed it was, she was just delirious and they were searching for a therapist
And then how was she trying to give her water?
through a sponge.
Through a sponge? Did she say anything about RB being able to use a straw at that time?
Yes,
And what did she say about the straw?
that she would choke on a straw trying to drink water.
And, okay. And so in terms of, you've mentioned Sergeant Arona, which agency does he work?
The Apache County Sheriff's Office.
And so,
Yes, I do.
so during our case, did you speak to him more than one time?
Yes, I did.
And so on that first day, when you become a part of the investigation, can you describe for the court what happened to RB after being on the side of the road? Where did she go?
She went to LCMC, the hospital in Winslow,
What is LCMC?
Little Colorado Medical Center,
And how, do you know how she got there?
via ambulance.
And so when, once she got to LCMC, did you receive sort of some first impressions from Sergeant Arona?
Yes, I did.
And did you document those in your initial report on from July 27th?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the court the information that you received that day
Yes.
about RB?
Sergeant Rona had contacted me and told me that she had bruises from head to toe. There was injuries to her vaginal and her anus area. She had damaged missing toenails and burn marks on her back that appeared to be consistent with cigarette burns.
And after you received those first impressions, did you also were you aware that he spoke to one of the doctors at LCMC?
Yes, I was.
And so prior to today, did you review his supplemental report that sort of described the different injuries from her body head to toe?
Yes, I have.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit about that and then, and let me see. If I start with, you've mentioned a little bit of the dehydration. What was the information that was provided by Little Colorado to Apache County specific to her dehydration?
That she was so severely dehydrated that she would not be able to walk on her own power.
And then in terms of her head, what was the initial information provided?
She was missing large chunks of hair from her head. So the doctor had mentioned a possible significant brain injury.
And then, so in terms of throughout the investigation, did that come to fruition? There's in the medical records?
Yes.
How about, and you just talked about the top of her head, how about her face? What was described from her face?
Her lips were very dry and chapped. She had a bruise on her left eye.
How about her arms?
I would need to refer to Sergeant Rona's supplement.
Okay. That's not the right one. Think. Oh, it is actually. They're together. That was the first one that went out. And give me just a second. I'm also going, before today, have you reviewed the photographs that were taken of RB at both Little Colorado and Phoenix Children?
Yes, I have.
So I'm going to bring you the report so you can describe the injuries, but I also will show you the pictures if that will also help refresh you. So here's the report so you can specifically answer this question. This has been marked up. This is UN Sergeant Arona. And so I'm referring specifically, the question was regarding her arms.
Judge, I didn't see Officer Arona's report in that. I just saw Deputy Soderquist.
That's correct.
Are there both or just one?
I think there's just one.
Just mine.
Okay. No. It is a supplemental 5. It is exhibit 10. That's what I messed up. So let me grab you. At the top, does this say supplemental 5?
Yes.
This is Sergeant Arona.
This is Sergeant Arona with Petch County.
Yes, sir.
This might help you a bit better if you that question. My apologies. So go ahead and look through there. And again, we're specifically talking about her arms.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can you tell us more about what the injuries were noted on her arms?
So both of her arms were bruised. There was large abrasions starting from her bicep, traveling all the way down to her hands.
And how about the midsection?
Um,
Do you recall?
I do not.
Can you go ahead and refer to the report?
Yes.
Midsection of the body or arms?
Let me clarify the question. So you just spoke about the arms. Do you have any information there was injuries to the midsection of her body?
Yes.
Do you recall the specific details?
I do not.
Okay, so then if you could go ahead and look at the report. This is 40 through 49. It's the-
Okay.
Can you tell us what's documented at that time?
Yes, there was large abrasions on her midsection that went horizontally from her midsection to her back.
You just mentioned her back. Were there any injuries on her back
Yes, there was.
further than what you just described?
Yes.
Can you describe the injuries that were to her back?
I would have to refer to this report.
And I'm wondering, and I've just shown these to defense counsel, if I can show you what's been marked as 40 through 49. These are labeled as photographs from Little Colorado. This might help you.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Statements.
Any objections?
Judge, apart from them, I just ask that they be sealed, but no objection.
Any objection after? All right. Without completely addressing all of that, States Exhibits 40 through 49 will be admitted. The court intends and will order that photographs and medical records that will be admitted during today's hearing will be sealed by the court.
And same with my. So, during the investigation, did you, collect the medical records from both Phoenix Children's and both Colorado?
Yes, I did.
And so, you don't read every single page, but can you just determine if these are these medical records from first day at Little Colorado? You can just kind of look at the beginning.
Does this have an exhibit number?
States Exhibit.
Yes, they are.
So you're, for the purpose of the.
Any objections? None noted. It will be States Exhibit 39 is admitted.
So. in terms of, help to look to see.
Yes.
Do you want- And I can direct you, States Exhibit 45 might be more helpful.
Yes.
Describe what you see.
Small burn marks that appear to be consistent with a cigarette type object in the middle of her lower back, right on her spine.
Have you look at 45? States Exhibit 4, oh, there it is. States Exhibit 45 is what you're looking at. So let me have you look at States Exhibit 40. So can you describe what you're looking at States Exhibit 40?
Yes, there's a picture of RB's face.
Based on your investigation.
That it is her face, her skin is yellow in color, her lips are chapped and really dry.
And then I'm going to show you States Exhibit 41. And then can you describe this?
Yes,
Judge,
there's a
I'm gonna
picture.
object. The photographs have been admitted. The court can view those. They're the best evidence. For him to describe them doesn't do anything for the court.
I will overrule the objection. I think you can, but don't necessarily need to go through those questions. Ms. Collins, go ahead if you would like. Go ahead.
So this is a picture of the left side of RB's face with a injury to the side of her left eye.
And so then I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 42. And what is this?
Is a picture of the right side of RB's face where she has bruising on the right side of her face.
In terms of States Exhibit, actually, I won't do that. States Exhibit 46, can you describe for the court?
It's a picture of RB's right arm with large abrasions and injuries to the elbow of her elbow and forearm.
In terms of those abrasions, can you describe the types of abrasions?
Yes, they're
Objection foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. You can describe.
So they are fairly large. There's scabbing from where it was obviously bleeding. And they're all consistently in the same area of her elbow.
State's Exhibit 47, we had not gotten to this part.
It is RB's toes and her feet. That they were damaged and appeared to be ripped off. And this photo describes and shows her toenails missing and being damaged.
State's Exhibit 28, describe his body.
This is RB's torso and pelvis. There's large abrasions starting from underneath her belly button, traveling all the way down to her vaginal area and down her right leg. They are red. Some of them are dark purple.
So after Little Colorado, how long did she stay at Little Colorado approximately?
2.5, 3 hours.
And then where did she go?
She was flown to Phoenix Children's Hospital.
And so based on your knowledge, is that where? So let me step back. In this investigation, she was flown to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Did something change from when she was on the side of the road without a pulse and unconscious to when she got to Little Colorado?
Yes,
And what was that?
that she was brain dead.
And so she was brain dead. Did she have a pulse?
She did not.
At some point, did she get a pulse?
Yes, right when
Okay.
she got into the ambulance.
She got a pulse when she got in the ambulance on the side of the road.
Yes,
So she goes to Little Colorado and she goes to Phoenix Children. So that's still sort of July 27th into the 28th.
yes.
And based on your investigation, what happened at the end of this in this part with her at Phoenix Children's Hospital?
RB had passed away.
And how do you know that information?
I was contacted by the Phoenix Children's Hospital
And what day was that?
when it was the following Wednesday.
July 30th?
Yes,
And so the information though that she was brain dead, that came that first day?
yes.
So we just talked a little bit about Little Colorado. I'm going to briefly talk to you about Phoenix Children's Hospital. Did you also collect those records and review the photographs?
Yes, I did.
That may help you. Said she was pregnant. They just said that. Did you hear them? She was pregnant. They said she was pregnant.
It's just the words.
Is the pregnancy in here as well? The pregnancy.
Not that I'm aware of. That's right. Stop. Here we go.
We got all this, yeah.
And then it includes like, yeah, they're complete. So I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 50. Again, you don't have to read everything. You just technically and exactly which one for that. Like that.
Yes, they do.
Your Honor, the statement's to admit State's Exhibit 50 for the purpose of the hearing.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
It will be admitted.
Came through State's Exhibit 51. 5, did those actually, some of the photos that you saw received from the Children's Hospital of Arby's condition that day?
Yes, they are. Because I reviewed the photos.
So statements to exhibit 51 to 55.
No objection. States exhibits 51 through 55 are admitted.
So based on your understanding, this is from those first few hours in these couple days.
Yes.
So in terms of states exhibit 50, can you describe the part of and what?
This is the stomach and pelvic area going down to the vaginal area. There's large abrasions that appear to wrap around on the left side and dark colored bruising on her vaginal area.
Judge, again, I'm going to object to the descriptions of the photographs. They're the best evidence and they've already been admitted.
All right, your objection is noted. I will overrule that.
States exhibit 52, what part of the body?
It is Arby's back with a large abrasion on her right side.
States exhibit 53.
This is the left side of Arby's stomach. There is large abrasion marks above her belly button, some that are very dark and starting to scab over. This is the right side of Arby's stomach, where the same thing, there's large abrasion marks with injuries that are starting to scab over. This is Arby's pelvic area along with the vaginal area with large abrasions starting from both sides of her legs, wrapping all the way down into her inner thighs on top of her vaginal area.
So in your review of the records, but also your conversation with Sergeant Arona, was there initial diagnoses that came from any of the doctors that you
Yes.
were told?
Yes.
And so in terms of Dr. Hubbard, did you have any information provided specifically from what he noted?
Yes.
And what did he note?
Dr. Hubbard noted that his findings were consistent with child abuse, child sexual abuse, and torture.
And then in terms of Dr. Molitor, who also oversaw her care, can you describe what he said specifically to Sergeant Arona?
I would need to review his report for his exact details.
Page 3, look at the third paragraph.
And just for the record, what exhibit is he
States
reviewing?
Exhibit 10, sorry, Your Honor, this is still Sergeant Arona's,
Thank you.
but I swapped in and out. Let's see.
I think it's on page.
You can go to. Let's get what Dr. Mullins information was provided from the hospital tomorrow.
What was that doctor's name again?
Molitor,
Thank you.
Molitor. What do you say? No. I'll move on and I'll work to get that back to you.
Okay.
Need that. So you mentioned that RB passed away on July 30th. Did you attend the autopsy? I think you mentioned you had.
Yes, I did.
And so in terms of attending the autopsy, were you aware of the, well, do we have a report yet?
No, we do not.
And were we given, was there any sort of deadline of where we may or may not get it until?
I believe anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
But were you provided initial findings by the doctor?
Yes, I was.
And who was the doctor?
Dr. Graziano.
And so based on the initial findings from Dr. Graziano from the autopsy you attended, can you describe what the findings were?
Yes, Dr. Graziano stated her preliminary findings were consistent with the doctors at Phoenix Children's Hospital for child abuse, child sexual abuse, and torture.
Additional findings she was able to determine based on her review of RB's body in the autopsy.
Yes, there was.
What was that?
Dr. Graziano had stated there was obvious signs of tearing in both the vaginal area and the anus.
Ms. Collins, I know you have a difficult job. As much as you can, speak in front of microphones. Thank you.
Yes, Judge. I knew it. Okay, so let's step back. And in terms of your investigation with RB, was there information about her trying to run away?
Yes,
And did that occur more than one time?
yes, I did.
And in terms of just maybe the last year or so, through the investigation, were you able to determine that there was law enforcement involved when she was in Phoenix and she ran away?
Yes, it was.
And when was that?
That was, I believe, October of 2024.
Prior to today, have you reviewed those reports?
Yes, I have.
Were those from Phoenix Police Department?
Yes, they were.
And so can you give a brief understanding of what occurred in October of 2024?
Yes, RB had jumped out of a
This foundation laid that this witness will be available to testify.
All right. I believe that she's covered the law enforcement officer's availability kind of as a blanket. I'll overrule that objection. Go ahead.
So RB had jumped out of a 2-story window of an apartment complex. She had ran to at least one homeless person that she saw asking for help and then ran to the QT.
And when she ran, can you describe what the QT is for those who may not know?
The Quick Trip convenience store.
And so when she ran to the QT convenience store, did she provide any information?
Yes, she had told the manager that she was being abused by her stepmother, and so he called the police.
So she said that she was being abused by her stepmother, so law enforcement was called.
Yes,
And so at that time, based on your review of the reports, did she give any information as to what she meant by abuse?
I would have to refer to the report for exact details.
So I'm showing you what's been marked as States Exhibit 29. Just don't check the top is this report from October 24 incident that happened.
Yes, it is.
And so if you could go specifically, what did RB disclose about the type of abuse?
Judge, I'm going to object in hearsay but grounds. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's admissible. There's no exception I'm aware of that she's obviously not going to be available to testify from.
Back, like I said.
So Your Honor, if I can add to that
Yeah.
information,
This are statements of RB.
these are statements of RB who is deceased, and in
Alright.
part, it goes to the statements that are made by defendant, which then calling to and attack her credibility. So because she's deceased, she will not be here. These are the only statements we have.
And these are statements to law enforcement.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll overrule the objection.
Okay. She was transported to Phoenix Children's Hospital because of the visible bruising, and she had told the officers that she had to do planks and run laps, as well as being hit on top of her hands and feet with a brush.
Was she asked anything at all about her siblings?
Yes.
And what information did she provide about her siblings?
She stated that they all were punished, but she got it more frequently and the worst.
62 and 72. During the investigation, you mentioned going to Empower Prep, did you collect records?
Yes, I did.
And do those records include RB, KB1, and KB2?
Yes, they do.
Did you also put together a supplemental report based on that information that you received?
Yes, I did.
And so, based on the investigation, were there several dates provided by Empower Prep of when DCS was called?
Yes, there was.
Set of handwritten stuff. You got it. Some intakes over here.
Maybe one of these. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the mark between 62 and 72. Just sort of. You're looking at statements that 72, what is that?
The DCS intake records from the calls from Empower Prep.
So 72 is documentation from DTS.
Correct.
And then it's exhibit 62, what is?
This is, I don't recall the exact name, but they had teachers fill this out every time they made a report to DCS for suspected abuse.
State exhibit, you also spoke to several teachers and administrative professionals about this information and these dates of abuse.
Yes, I did.
Deputy, if you can pull the microphone a little bit more directly in front of your mouth when you're talking to her, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So in terms of, if I can walk you through the Empower records, in terms of looking at November 2023, and you've reviewed this information, but can you give us that? And if it will help to have your supplement, I can grab it.
Yes, it would.
Reference to November 2023.
Okay.
Showing you what's that is supplement, sorry. Empower Prep records.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so in terms of November of 2023, which child did this report detail?
KB1,
And regarding KB1, what was the report?
that he came to school with scratch marks on the side of his neck.
And the information he provided to the teacher?
is that his mom did it because he didn't clean up.
Did anything happen the day after, did anything happen after he told his teacher that?
Yes, the following day, he recanted his statement and said that it was an accident.
Was there any description of how big the scratches were?
They were approximately 2 inches in length.
So then I'm going to have you next look at February 10th, 2024. And for the record, for this time frame, this was KB1 in November of 2023. He would have been 6.
Yes,
So February 10th of 2024, who was the report involving with Empower that day? Which child?
KB1 as well.
And what was the report? What was the issue?
That he had came to school again with scratch marks on his neck.
Did he give any indication why he had scratch marks on his neck?
He said that he got in trouble and that his mom did it.
And after he said he got in trouble and his mom did it, did he say anything after that happened?
No, he did not.
Direct you to September 13th, 2024. Can you tell us which child that report involved?
Also KB1.
And can you describe what KB1, what the issue was?
He also had scratch marks on his neck and described that his mom did it because he was being bad at home.
And after he described saying that his mom did it because he was being bad at home, did he say anything additional or change the story?
He said that his head hurt and he needed to go to the nurse's office.
Did he come back the next day?
Yes, he did.
When he came back the next day, what did he say had happened?
He stated, never mind, Anicia didn't do this to me. I just fell and hit my head.
Was there DCS follow-up regarding this incident with KB1 involving talking to RB? Like, did they talk to RB after this incident?
I don't know.
In a general perspective, I'm walking through a couple dates and I've got 2 more for you, but were there more dates than we're discussing?
Yes, there was.
So in looking at October 29th, 2024, can you tell me which child that report involved?
That was RB.
At that time, was she 9 years old?
Yes, she was.
And what was the complaint?
That her ankles were red and that they hurt.
And when she complained, did she describe why her ankles were red and hurting?
Yes, she said that her parents made her run laps outside the apartment complex.
Did she describe when her parents made her run laps in the complex?
Consistently throughout the day.
And after she told this to one of the teachers, and you spoke to several of them, was there any information given about her concerns about her parents at that time?
I don't
Do you want to
understand.
look at your,
Yeah.
check your report? And I can try to rephrase that. Did she share any information to the teacher about going home after school?
Yes, she stated she did not want to go home.
She said she didn't want to go home.
Correct.
And based on your investigation with the teachers, how often did she say that?
Pretty frequently.
I'll have you look at November 16th of 2024 and then let me know which child this involved.
It is KB2.
So KB2, and at this point, is he 5 years old?
Yes, he is.
And
Apologize, Ms. Collins. What was that date?
November 16th, 2024, Judge. So KB2 is 5 years old, and what is the complaint?
That there's no food at home and he's forced to do planks as a form of punishment.
And when he's asked who does that, who does he say?
Anicia and Richard.
Does he call him Anicia and Richard?
Yes.
Does he describe when the planks happened and when the food was missing? Does he say how often?
Just about every day he explains being tired and hungry.
Did he talk about how he felt about leaving school with his parents?
Yes.
And what did he say about that?
When the staff asked him why he didn't want to go home, he told them that he is not allowed to talk about it.
He was told he was not allowed to talk about it? Did he say who he was? Did he say who told him that?
I would need to refer to this report. Oh, yes, his dad, Richard.
His dad, Richard. Was there also any other complaint or injury on him that he complained about that day?
Yes, he had a missing toenail as well.
He had a missing toenail?
Yes.
And when he had the missing toenail, did he give any indication of why he had a missing toenail?
He just stated, I cannot talk about it.
Piece of paper. And then I'm going to ask you for one last date, January 16th, 2025. And what child that is referencing?
KB2.
Do you want to double check?
You said the 5th of 2025.
January 16th,
Oh, that's for RB.
RB. And involved in this report, what was the report coming out of Empower that at that time?
That she was absent from school.
How long had she been absent?
I believe about a week.
And when she finally does come back to school, does she give reasons to the school as to why she'd been absent? Does she talk about the conditions at home?
I would need to refer to this report.
Go ahead. Yeah, and if you need to look at States Exhibit 62 or 72, specifically probably the Empower prep records regarding January 16th. It should be at the tail end.
I can't, it's not visible in this.
So if you.
It's the 15th.
So in terms of the visibility of this, if you look at here, can you pick out aspects that she described? For instance, did she describe what punishments were happening?
Running laps around the apartment complex as well as planks.
And then in terms of receiving food or water, is there any information she gives to the teachers regarding that specifics?
Judge, again, I'm going to object. It appears the officer has no idea what's in the document. It's already been admitted. So I'm not really sure
doesn't get
why
what
we
you
need to go through this specifically.
All right, I'll overrule the objection. If you wish to continue with the question, you can, Ms. Collins.
He used to be a little prosecutor.
So the information that she gave that day, you talked to several teachers. I'll go broader, not just January 16th. Get in front of the microphone. Did she describe one time or more than one time to other adults that she was not getting any food or water?
Yes, she did.
And was that going on for approximately how long prior to them moving up here?
About the entire time that they lived at that apartment complex.
And how are you able to base that information? Who are the people that information's coming from?
The neighbors that lived right next to him at the apartment complex.
And how about the teachers?
The teachers at her school.
I'm gonna go ahead and take what's been marked as States Exhibit 72 and 62 and 16. I'm gonna do that real quick. Whole 30. And then 57 to 59. So we were talking earlier about Dr. Molitor and you guys have already seen States Exhibit. It's his son. I was directing you to, sorry, or I just want to have you look at your own report in terms of Dr. Molitor.
I found it.
That he gave after caring for Rebekah those RB those days.
Dr. Muller stated upon his evaluation, this patient had a high probability of imminent or life-threatening deterioration from acute respiratory failure, shock, and cardiac arrest, which required my direct attention, intervention, and direct management.
During this investigation, you received disclosure of physical exams that were done on all three children.
Yes, I did.
And so in a case like this, would you interview the children?
No.
And so very briefly, just if I can have permission from the court to just lead on this foundational purpose.
Yes, go ahead.
So in this situation, were KB1 and KB2 forensically interviewed in the Phoenix Children's Hospital?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And were there sex assault exams done on all three children?
Yes, there was.
And were those also conducted at the Phoenix Children's Hospital?
Yes, they were.
Have you reviewed before today the report documenting that and their exams?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And so the interview that is done with KB1, can you give us an indication of was he able to describe the last time he saw his sister?
Yes, he was.
And when did he say the last time he saw his sister?
The night prior to the 27th when she was in timeout.
Did he describe how long she was in timeout?
I do not recall.
Who told her to be in timeout, did he say?
His stepmother.
And was he able to give any indication to the forensic interviewer about seeing her the morning of the 27th?
That she was running laps.
So that's KB1 or KB2?
I do
I'm
not
getting your reports on a
recall exactly which one.
So in terms of RB1, and I can get you the documentation in a moment, you said the last time he'd seen her was she was in timeout.
Correct.
Okay. And other than so I'm going to show you what's marked as States Exhibit 30 and then States Exhibit 57 through 59. To States Exhibit 30 is that look like a report from the Phoenix Police Department documenting both the forensic exams and what's in the interviews.
Yes.
And then States Exhibit 57 to 59 of those in same exams for the sex assault nurse exams for this research.
Yes, they are.
57 being RDs. Is that correct?
Yes.
58 being KB1s
Yes.
and 59. Oh, actually, I think that's wrong. KB1 is 59 and KB2 is 58.
Correct.
So if you want to look at the documentation in States Exhibit 30, regarding KB1's testimony specifically, or his interview specifically, did he give any indication that he directly saw RB prior to them all going up to Holbrook?
I would need to review this really
ahead.
quick.
Gina, he's been said. That charge goes out the window if they can't prove it.
Okay,
And was he able to indicate that he'd seen his sister that morning?
yes,
When did he last see her?
when she was in timeout.
Okay, and after timeout, and I didn't address this earlier, were the boys with Baptiste and Woods when they drove RB to get help?
Yes, they were.
So prior to that, based on his interview, the last time he saw her was in timeout and then in the car.
Correct.
If we talk about KB2, when did he describe the last time he saw RB?
The last time he saw her, she was running laps or walking in the desert.
And do you recall at the very beginning of the interview, him being asked to give his parents' names?
I would have to refer back to this report for KB1.
KB2, at the very beginning of the interview, him being asked to give his parents' names and what his response was.
He didn't know if he should tell her his parents' names.
He didn't know if he should tell his parents' names.
Yes.
And does he talk in his forensic interview about anything that his dad does to him?
I would also need to refer back to this report.
Go ahead. $30. So specifically, does his dad do anything to him?
Yes, he hits him with a belt
He hits him with a belt. And does that happen? How often does that happen?
when he gets in trouble.
Does it happen has that happened to him more than one time?
Yes.
And when he was asked to describe more details about being hit, what was his response to the forensic interviewer?
That he's not supposed to talk about it.
That he's not supposed to talk about it?
Yes.
Does, and he describes what he got hit with?
Yes, a belt.
A belt. When he describes the belt, does he, okay, and then does he also describe if his mom does anything?
Yes, he stated both Richard and Anicia hit him with a belt.
And when he talks about his mom hitting him with a belt, how does he describe that?
A lot more than his dad does.
Does he describe where he is hit with the belt?
On the top of his hand in the desert.
Later on, when they ask him about his sister, and if he's aware of her being abused, what does she say? What does he say about his sister?
That when she runs in the desert, whenever she gets punished, he was told he's not allowed to talk about what happens to Rebekah.
And so to clarify, when the interview changes about to RB, he says he can't talk about it.
Yes.
Does he talk about knowing that she gets hit?
Yes.
How does he know that?
I would need to refer refer to this.
Go ahead.
Sounds miracle. To me, it's all, that's what it is.
Because he could hear Rebekah crying when Anicia would hit her with a bell.
And in reference to clarify, when he is asked about, what does he say in terms of why he's not allowed to talk about RB? Who tells him not to talk about RB?
His parents.
And based on your investigation, does that happen one time or more than one time?
More than one time.
Deputy Soderquist, you have also reviewed the defendant's statements.
Yes, I have.
You watched the interviews.
Yes, I have.
I just want to ask a couple general questions in terms of those interviews. At some point, is there do they give any indication that anyone else had babysat the kids?
No.
Window.
Objection to they, I'd rather specify which defendant.
I didn't hear all of the question and then I didn't hear all of the objection. What was the question again?
So I was asking if both Baptiste and Woods either one of them gave an indication that anyone babysat the kids between July 5th and 27th.
All right, and the objection?
It was different, phrased differently, so that's fine.
All right, go ahead.
I phrased it better. So if you can answer that question.
Yeah, so they stated in the interview with the Navajo County detectives that no one has had custody of any of the 3 children except for Richard and Anicia.
How about jobs? Did they have jobs yet?
No, they did not.
Did was Baptiste working on getting a job?
Yes, he was.
And they, at some point, do they both admit hitting RB?
Yes, they do.
And let's talk Baptiste first. So let's walk with him. So does he, what does he admit hitting RB with?
With a belt.
And when he talks about hitting her with a belt, does he describe how often that happens?
I don't recall exactly how often.
More than one occasion?
Yes.
What about hitting KB1 and KB2?
Yes.
Jen.
And back to defendant Woods, does she admit hitting RB with a belt?
Yes.
How about KB1 and KB2?
Yes, she does.
And just to clarify, the ranch and the location of where you're in residence, is that within here in Pima County or Pima County, Apache County?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, actually, so one last little bit. So we talked about the neighbors in that whole ranch area, thousands of acres.
Yes.
And so through this investigation between you and other deputies, were you able to canvass the neighborhood about her missing on the 27th?
Yes.
And so understanding an aspect that I did not go into yet. We talked about her running away in Phoenix. We talked about her, the QT and the apartment. Did she run away here?
Yes, she did.
And when is the first time she ran away here?
I would have to refer to, I believe it was July 9th.
July 9th. And so on July 9th, in an effort, Judge, if I could just leave momentarily,
Go ahead.
is that the day that that there is a search put together and Andrew locates her?
Yes.
And then is there another time that she runs away?
Yes, there is.
And approximately after the 9th, when was that?
I believe July 12th.
And on July 12th, was there a Facebook group sort of searching for? And based on the investigation, does RB get located?
Yes, she does.
How so?
She returned on her own.
And each of those times she was missing, based on the statements from the defendants, was the time frame about an hour or 2 hours max?
Yes.
And so is there any information that you have in this entire investigation that from the 12th to the 27th, there was any time she was missing?
No.
Was there any indication from talking to the neighbors? Well, based on talking to the neighbors, after the 9th and the 12th, did they sort of based on what you know, did they have a group ready to go if something were to happen to her?
Yes, they did.
And on the 27th, was there any indication from any neighbor that they received any communication from Richard Baptiste or Anicia Woods that RB was missing?
No, there was not.
I don't have anything further. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Brewer, cross-examination.
Thanks, Judge. Deputy, are you familiar with the Brady list?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as defendants exhibit A. Yes, you recognize that.
Yes, I do.
Stuff. That trial, that's what, you know, that's the plea.
Document.
I'm the one that knows.
I just like to look at this.
I don't know the exact verbiage for it, but I understand that it's an integrity list, I believe, of conduct with. I don't. Yeah, it could be multiple people, but yes, law enforcement, yes. Myself. Yes, sir.
Sure. That.
The training program, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you were still.
I did not know to my knowledge since I was cleared by it, but I'm not gonna like argue with you. I'm not, to my knowledge, no, but.
And Mr. Brewer, we're having a tough time picking you up on the recording. If we could get close to the microphones, thank you. I know it's not ideal. Any objections?
So, Your Honor, my objection would be, I'm not sure the records need to be admitted. He also said he believes he was cleared. So I think this is concerning that this would be admitted and possibly available as a court file. I think we take his testimony and go from there, but I think it's premature to admit it. And I don't think it's necessary or material to the probable cause that's in front of this court. So based on that, I'm not objecting to the information or the testimony, but I do not believe it needs to be admitted, nor do I find the relevance to it.
All right. Any response? All right, I will admit defendant's exhibit A.
Then I would ask for a motion to seal, Your Honor. His records are based on there, and he says at the end it's unsubstantiated, so I would make it clear that his records are sealed.
I will clarify that this is only being admitted for the purposes of today's hearing right now. And any response to the request to seal, Mr. Brewer?
Yeah, I don't object to that, Judge.
All right, and it will be sealed, included in the previous order regarding photographs and medical records that will be sealed.
Officer, deputy, is that right?
Yes, sir.
In your investigation, how did RB die?
I would have to refer to the medical records for the exact terminology.
Well, let me ask you this. Did the hospital make a determination to terminate life by taking away life-sustaining machinery?
Yes, they did.
And so she didn't die, for lack of a better word, naturally. she died based on the hospital's actions or inactions in deciding how to treat her. Is that correct?
Can you rephrase that? I'm sorry.
Well, but for the actions of the hospital, would she still be on respirator? Still on some machines?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Brewer, sorry, Mr. Brewer, Exhibit A needs to be marked if you still have that.
It's marked, Judge.
I mean, it needs to be marked as admitted
Oh,
to the
okay.
clerk and submitted to them. If you need it again, you can get it. Sorry, Ms. Collins, your objection.
Any further request of him on medical knowledge, I would object as speculation. There is hearsay, but he just asked him to speculate on whether or not she'd be alive or not. So I would ask that to be stricken from the record. He does not have the training or experience to even know if that would be accurate.
So, sure.
Any response, Mr. Brewer?
Judge, she already answered the question, so I just asked that it stand.
All right, I will sustain the objection and strike the answer. I believe it was asking for speculation.
So from your information, she was alive. And then when the machines were turned off, she died. Is that right?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
RB was alive, and then at some point they turned the machines off, and then she was dead, right?
Yes.
What was the doctor's determination with regard to the cause of death, the cause of her situation where she was?
We don't have the autopsy report yet. I don't know.
Was there indication that there was blunt force trauma to the head?
Yes.
Was there anything that you found in your investigation that determined or showed you that there was abuse or contact with an object to her head? Was there ever any allegation of that? Did anybody admit to anything like that?
I don't know about admitting, but from the photographs that I saw and the injuries to the top of her head, yes.
And would you agree with me those injuries appeared to look as though the hair had been pulled from the scalp? Is that right?
Yes.
And that would be consistent with what you found in the wastebasket of hair that looked like RB's that was connected to a brush.
Yes.
There were also statements that happened. There was, I believe, and you in the investigation isn't it accurate that the Ms. Woods indicated that she may have used a brush to pull the hair out of her head, trying to get knots out.
Yes.
Were there any indentations or any kind of clear head injuries apart from that?
No.
Yeah.
Did anyone from medical ever tell you that the cause of death was because of the use of the belt on RB?
Not that I recall.
And is that primarily, physically speaking, the only allegation lodged at Mr. Baptiste was that he used a belt?
I believe so.
Was there ever any indication or something that would suggest that he used a belt buckle as opposed to the other side of the belt?
I don't recall.
In your experience in law enforcement, perhaps personal experience, is oftentimes, maybe not as much now, but a belt is used as a form of corporal punishment sometimes. Is that right?
Sometimes.
You indicated the living conditions at the yurt. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that's the basis upon which you are saying the child abuse is where the child abuse occurred primarily with regard to these charges. Is that correct?
I believe so.
And you showed the house. It seemed to those fairly cluttered, clothing, things of that nature. There was a well in the area. Is that right? A community well?
Yes, there was.
And you didn't take the time to determine the distance from the Baptiste residence to the well?
No, I did not. That was a
Um,
different deputy.
Were there water jugs of any kind on that property, inside or outside?
I believe there was one
And did that have water in it?
that I do not know.
Did they have a form of a generator that would be able to produce electricity if they needed to?
I did not see a generator.
Did you see any kind of solar panels or anything that perhaps would produce electricity in that way?
I did see a solar panel. Yes.
Did you check that to determine whether it was operational, whether it was generating any type of electricity?
No, because I was told it didn't work.
By who?
Sergeant Rona with his interview with Mr. Baptiste.
Okay. If, and so you're taking the statement of Mr. Baptiste as being the truthful one, is that right?
That they didn't have power?
That those weren't working?
Correct.
You didn't go above and beyond and look and see and make sure they weren't working?
No, I don't know how to work solar. So no, I did not.
And is it your understanding that solar can, if used properly, generate electricity?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you notice, well, they obviously had a vehicle that was operational, is that right?
Yes.
And the jug that you saw, would that have been able to fit in the vehicle that they had to be able to go get water if they needed to?
Yes.
And wasn't one of the times where the RP was going was to the well? She said she was.
Yes.
Also, wouldn't that be important to find out the distance to see exactly how far that was for her to go?
Correct.
Let's talk a little bit more about discipline. You indicated that they indicated that they seem to have been disciplined in perhaps unique ways where they would do running or planks. Is that kind of a strength exercise? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
that is.
I suppose.
And is there a concern about running because it's a form of punishment? Or, I mean, if it was in the context of training the child to be a football player or soccer player, would that concern you as much? Or is it because it's discipline that they're making their child run that concerns you?
It was the discipline and the complaints from the children.
But if he was out there wanting her to be the best athlete and had her running, no issue with that?
I don't know.
They'd arrived at the home in the yurt, which was not theirs initially. Is that right? They did not put that up.
Correct.
And that had already been lived in, presumably.
Yes.
And there were already items in that yurt.
Yes.
And you perhaps don't know what items were in there, what were not, but presumably there were some items in there that were not the Baptiste,
Correct.
not Mr. Baptiste. And with regard to the clutter, would you agree with me that if an individual were to move to a place that was already occupied with stuff, you just probably have some clutter for a bit of a time?
The picture that I saw of the yurt prior to them moving there, that thing was spotless and clean.
When did you see that?
I don't recall the exact date.
You had cause to be out at the yurt previously to that?
It was through a photograph.
Through a photograph?
Yes, sir.
And it was the inside of the yurt?
Yes. It was all three, RB, KB1, and KB2, laying on the floor watching TV.
Okay, so they were there.
Yes, they were.
So this was during a time when, earlier in July?
I don't recall, but earlier somewhere around there.
Or you don't have anything prior to their actual arrival, July 4th or whenever it was, right?
I don't know the exact date. I just saw the picture.
With regard to the KB1 and KB2, well, specifically, let's go with KB2. That's a male, right?
Yes.
And was there any indication that he ever said that he was not given enough water?
I'd have to refer to my report. I don't recall.
Did he ever indicate that he didn't have enough food?
So I would have to refer to my report.
With regard to the discipline that he received, did he ever indicate to you that he felt that his life was in danger or he was in peril of life or limb in any kind of way? Did he ever indicate anything like that?
I did not speak to him.
Did you, in your investigation, did he ever say anything like that to anybody?
Not in that exact wording.
Right. You understand what I'm saying, just in that, along those lines.
Correct.
You indicated, just so I know, it says, the complaint says, under circumstances likely to produce death or serious physical injury when referring to KB2. And I'm just trying to understand what circumstances and what were likely to produce death or serious physical injury of him.
Objection,
Given what they were.
speculation, and a legal analysis that he's requesting of him.
Just
I will sustain the objection to the extent you're having him answer the definitional. You can ask him his observations if you'd like. Go ahead.
So as far as your investigation uncovered, what are those things specifically about where KB2 lived and who he lived with that were circumstances that were likely to produce death or serious physical injury of KB2?
There was no water. There was no running water. There was no power at the residence.
Okay, no running water, no power. Anything else?
The feces scattered all over the floor with multiple dogs inside the house.
Okay. And the serious physical injury of that would be what?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
With regard to other, you visited a number of people out there in that area, is that right?
I did not know.
Okay, but you were aware of investigations where officers did go and investigate that, right?
That is correct.
And those individuals, did they all have running water?
I am unsure.
Do they all have electricity?
Also unsure.
Did they have any did they happen to have dog or cat feces in their house?
I am unsure.
With regard to RB, apparently there were two determinations made by doctors that seem to, I don't know if conflict is the right word, but one indicated that there may have been sexual abuse. The other one specifically saw tearing of the anus and the vagina. Is that right?
Yes.
And the first doctor who did not report that specifically, did you get any reason why they did not report that?
I did not. Just speaking with Sergeant Arona, he said they were waiting for the SANE exams.
And as far as was there any indication from the doctor who indicated that he saw those injuries, how they were caused?
No.
Was there any indication or any kind of results from testing that would suggest there was DNA or any other bodily fluid connected in that area from Mr. Baptiste?
We have not received the results yet from the DPS crime lab.
But swabbings were collected.
Yes, they were.
With regard to the information pertaining to I believe it's KB1. Let me see here. And it's hard for me to know who's who because they're listed differently in the police report. One of the individuals had indicated there was some kind of there was the KB2 indicated, or they believe that he had some kind of sexual contact from someone else based on the review of his body. Is that right?
Yes.
And did not KB2 indicate that was caused by a stick when he was outside playing?
That I do not recall.
Do you know what he said about how that injury got there?
Not exactly. I'd have to refer to my report.
Did any of the children and RB prior to her death and KB1 and KB2 ever indicate or make an allegation of a sexual nature to reference Mr. Baptiste?
Not to my knowledge.
And KB1 and KB2 did go through at least one forensic interview. Is that right?
Yes.
Did they go through a separate forensic interview?
Not yet.
Is that going to happen?
At some point.
During that forensic interview, did they ever disclose that they had been improperly and sexually touched in some way by Mr. Baptiste?
I don't recall.
You would agree with me, that's fairly important when you're charging, when the charges are for my client's.
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
So you are the case officer,
Yes.
and one of the charges is molestation of a child. You're aware of that?
Yes.
And that would be KB2.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you're unaware of what statements he's made regarding any kind of sexual stuff that has happened.
I would need to refer to the report for exact details for you.
The reports you're referring to have all been admitted into evidence, is that right?
Yes.
And if the court needs to review those, the court can.
Yes.
Just for clarification, Mr. Brewer, most of the reports have not been admitted, the law enforcement reports. They're only used to assist his memory, ask questions about.
Okay, but, all right. Well, just for my information, have the forensic reports been admitted?
That was State's Exhibit 30, and that has not yet been admitted. It's the summaries of them. Sir, I have no problem admitting them if you want them admitted.
The information that you had was that this RB had a history of running away.
Yes.
And I guess just to be clear, I think initially you testified that it was mom and dad, but you're not saying it was mom that was part of this case. Is that right? It's stepmom?
Yes.
Okay. Microphone. And the running away of RB had been attended to by on at least two occasions by a number of other witnesses that lived in the area, the neighbors of Mr. Baptiste. Is that right?
Yes.
Was there ever, prior to the neighbors being advised that RB was in rough shape, were there ever any clear statements by the neighbors saying that when they saw her in her condition, that she looked as though she was beaten and bloodied in any of those interviews?
Not exactly beaten and bloodied.
But very, maybe some scratches and stuff, but they attributed to just being out in the desert. Is that right?
Yes.
Nothing caused a full alarm concern about when they found her, making them to call the police and say, hey, something's going on with this girl, right?
I believe so.
And the last one of those was on the 12th of July. That's when apparently the last grouping of these folks came around to find RB, correct?
Yes.
And there was the 27th when this incident was supposedly occurring.
Correct.
So that's a 15-day period. And did you see injuries that were over 15 days old on her?
Objection, speculation.
I'll allow the question. If you know the answer, you can answer it.
I don't know how to answer that. I can't gauge
Do you
how old
believe,
bruises are.
do you believe all the wounds that you saw on her were attributable to within a 15-day time period, or do you believe some of those occurred prior to that?
15-day time period.
And so your testimony is that on the 12th, very little, if any, injuries on RB, right?
Objection, speculation.
Were you involved at all on the 12th?
No, I was not.
I'll sustain the objection.
With regard to your information that you received from the neighbors, they didn't seem to have any concern about her well-being apart from her running away. Is that right?
Yes,
The third time where or Mr. Baptiste was interviewed, correct?
yes,
He indicated, as well as Ms. Woods indicated, that RB had run away again the morning of the 27th. Is
yes,
that right?
yes.
And that they had attempted to rally the troops again, or at least call a neighbor to see if they could get some assistance.
They did not do that.
No, I mean, did they tell you they did that? Or did they
Uh,
tell a law enforcement officer that they called people, or did they not call people that day?
They didn't call people that day.
Okay. And so they were taking it upon themselves to go and find her.
Correct.
And they did indicate, though, that someone found her, right? A neighbor?
That's what they said, yes.
Right. And as far as the number of neighbors out there, how many neighbors is that? I mean, how many pieces of property are we talking about here?
Maybe 4, 5, maybe at the most.
Okay, and those are all touching or a few out from where the Baptiste property is?
They're a ways away from the Baptiste property.
And as far as your investigation could tell, every single neighbor that was in a general area of a person who had an ATV was interviewed about whether or not they had found RB on that day.
Correct.
And so you're certain that there's no other neighbor out there who may have been the person who found RB and took her back on the four-wheeler.
On the 27th?
Yes.
Yes.
Still has, he said, she said. "Yeah,
Isn't it true in
see,
one of the forensic interviews, one of the children indicated that they saw a neighbor bring back RB on that day?
No, it was on the 12th.
And are you certain that the child was aware of what date he was being asked to talk about,
Not the exact date.
or the exact incident?
Yeah, he described the neighbor that brought him along with the yellow four-wheeler that dropped her off.
There was a little discussion about the arrangements for RB's living conditions. She was living on a mat, some kind of padded mat on the floor. Is that right?
Yes,
And is that, in your impression, improper?
yes,
So your child shouldn't live on a mat on the floor.
no,
And if they're not in a bed, that could be a problem for them from your perspective?
yes.
Did any of the children ever indicate to you that Mr. Baptiste combed RB's hair?
No,
With regard to the allegations made pertaining to abuse from the children during your investigation, were more allegations made toward Ms. Woods or Mr. Baptiste?
as far as,
The number of accusations made as far as who was doing the primary punishment, or whatever you want to call it.
they had stated came from both of them. They just got it the worst from Mrs. Woods.
Okay, but I'm saying in all of the documentation, the reports to the schools, the reports to, whoever else, wasn't Ms. Woods more oftentimes listed as the aggressor in that, as opposed than Mr. Baptiste?
Yeah,
Did Mr. Baptiste, was he trying to seek employment during that period of time from July 4th through the 27th?
I believe so, yes.
And just for my impression, how far is it from this location to, say, Holbrook?
Half hour, 35 minutes.
Okay. And if you were looking for work, Holbrook would be a good place, at least one of two places to go.
Yes,
How far is St. John's from this location?
maybe 45, 50-ish minutes.
So Holbrook is closer.
Yes,
So when they decided to take the child to Holbrook, that was the quickest place to get help.
Objection, speculation.
Are you talking about the medical?
Just driving them to either the St. John's or Holbrook. Holbrook was faster. I'm just asking them that.
All right, if you know, you can answer.
I guess I would say.
And would you agree with me, it'd be a bit unusual if to cause this damage and then try to take them to the quickest way to get help?
I don't
If
understand.
the Baptistes are supposedly the ones who did this and caused this damage, would it not be unusual then for them to travel to the quickest location to try to get help for this child?
No,
Okay. As far as, did you ever get an idea of how long or how often Mr. Baptiste was looking for work while he was in Holbrook or wherever he was looking?
no, I did not.
But you were aware he was doing that,
Yes,
and that would obviously take him away from the yurt
yes,
for at least an hour, and if he's looking for work, probably much more than an hour. Would you agree?
Objection, speculation.
You can answer the question. I'll overrule the objection.
he was looking on a phone. He wasn't, there's no paper applications anymore. You can apply for jobs online.
Did he have, or do you know if there's cell service out there? Can you call from his yurt?
Yes, there is cell service.
And what kind of phone did you use in making that determination?
My department issued work phone.
Did you ever use his phone to
No.
make a determination? Did you ever use Ms. Wood's phone to see if she could get service out there?
No, I did not.
You would agree with me that different providers would probably provide different service for whether or not someone could get a call through?
Yes,
And Mr. Baptiste indicated he was having trouble getting calls through when he was trying to call 911 while he was traveling to Holbrook.
yes,
Did you do a phone records check on him?
yes, I did.
And did that come back yet?
Yes, as.
And did he make 911 calls?
Yes, he did.
Did some of those not go through because he didn't have service?
Yes,
So he was telling the truth.
Objection, speculation.
What he told you was accurate with what you saw in the reports.
pretty close.
Did Ms. Woods have a phone? Her own phone?
Yes, she did.
Did you check that phone as well?
Yes, I did.
Any calls from 911 from that phone?
I'd have to review my report. There was multiple phones seized.
Was Mr. Baptiste ever questioned whether or not he knew CPR?
Was he ever questioned about it?
Did you ask him, or do you know whether or not he knew CPR?
No,
You didn't ask him?
no, I did not.
Did you determine through your investigation whether or not he knew CPR?
I don't, I'm sorry, what do you,
I mean, the question that someone asked whether or not Ms. Woods she's a medical person and knew CPR.
Mhm.
And apparently didn't do CPR until the very end or something like that. Did Mr. Baptiste get asked those same questions?
No,
Okay, so you don't know whether or not he knows CPR or not.
I do not.
Did RB have some kind of disease on her mouth?
From what the parents stated,
Was that confirmed?
that is, don't have the report back. I don't know.
Was that identified as something observable, that there's appeared to be cracking of the lips or maybe scabs on the lip area?
Yes,
And that's consistent with what the Baptiste said is the result of the disease that she had?
Objection, speculation.
Do you know the answer to that question?
I do not, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
Have you done tests or swabs on Mr. Baptiste?
Yes,
Has anything indicated him coming back with any kind of herpes type symptoms or?
I do not have the results back yet.
And you check the areas that would be where those would be found, I presume?
Yes.
Did they share with you how they believed RB got that disease? Or I don't know what it is, some kind of something.
I believe they had mentioned it came somewhere in Phoenix.
That he was kissing a boy or she was kissing a boy at school or something?
That sounds correct.
Was there any indication that anyone else, either of the other children, had that disease?
No,
She was used to that yet.
And although there's not CPR, forgive me, but that's where your chest compressions.
yes,
And was there a statement that that Ms. Woods was doing air breathing or trying to do air breathing, but without chest compressions?
they stated she was doing rescue breaths.
Rescue breaths?
Yes.
Can you tell me the difference between child abuse and torture?
I can't tell you the difference. I don't know how to answer that.
Did the doctor ever elaborate on what those specific terms meant to him when he wrote them down?
I would have to refer to his report.
And it's my understanding that ultimately a pulse was obtained in the ambulance of RB.
Yes.
Was there some indication, either through interviewing of neighbors or parents, that the shoe size that RB was wearing were either too big or too small?
Not that I recall.
Okay. But it would be, if they were in those reports, they would be in there. Is that correct? I mean, whatever's in there is in there.
I believe so.
And I think I heard you, and I want to make sure, her toe was not ripped off. Her toenail was off.
Her toenail, correct.
And when you say ripped off, you can't be sure of that either, can you? It was off, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they can come off in a number of different ways. Would you agree?
Yes.
And that could just happen naturally if you stub your toe and it goes black and falls off, right?
Yes.
The items you collected at the home, was there anything in there that showed a presence of blood or obvious DNA apart from the brush and the hair?
There was lots of paper towels with blood all over them in the same trash can where we found the clumps of hair. There was a set of pink shorts with RB's underwear in the walkway between the houses that looked to have a bloody stain at the bottom of the underwear.
And that was discussed with Mr. Baptiste, was it not? That issue with the underwear?
Yes.
And he indicated that when they'd collected her, she had wet herself. Is that right?
Yes.
And so they changed her pants by taking off her pants and underwear and put on another something over her private area, another pair of pants, right?
Yes,
Shorts or something. And yeah, at this point in time, you can't be certain that it's blood. And is that fair?
yes,
And those are off for testing.
yes, they are.
And I assume all the Kleenexes, for lack of a better word, were collected,
Yes,
and those were sent for testing as well.
yes, they were.
Are you aware whether or not you can determine where blood came from on a particular person once it's off?
No,
Did the KB1 or KB2 ever give you any indication that from the time of the second pickup of RB on the 12th of July till the 27th, that they heard, heard or saw beatings, screaming, anything that would be consistent with what injuries we've seen when she was taken to the hospital?
well, the KB2 had stated that he knew RB was being beat when he could hear her screaming. And they'd also mentioned they were told to go to their tree house and play throughout the day.
And did you get pictures of that treehouse?
No,
And do you know how far it is from the house? Or
I did not locate a tree house.
Okay, on the property, there's no treehouse that you saw?
I did not see one.
And the walls of the yurt are made of what?
Like canvas?
So you can probably hear through those pretty well.
Yes,
Are you sure when he was speaking, that was referring to that period of time?
I believe so.
I'm not certain.
No,
Did you do any, well, during your investigation, was there any indication of any kind of washes that were deeper than normal in that general area?
I did not look for washes. That was a different deputy.
Did you find out whether or not that deputy discovered any washes that had some depth to them?
He discovered a wash, but it did not have depth to it.
Nothing indicating like a 6-foot drop.
No, not that I recall.
Did some of the medical records indicate some kind of back compression?
Yes,
And would that be consistent potentially with jumping out of a 2-story window?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
And was she seen by a doctor after that jumping out of the window?
yes,
And there are reports as to what they observed after that?
I believe so.
Are you sure?
If you're referring to the incident where she jumped out of the 2-story window,
She went to the hospital after that.
she did go to the hospital.
And the doctors made an assessment as to her condition at that time.
Yes,
Regard to your information or your understanding, when the reports were made by the Empower College Prep folks, did DCS take any action?
not to my knowledge.
And did they just ignore it? Or did they respond saying, we did an investigation and found it unsubstantiated? Or what did you find out about that?
Some of the reports that I read were, some of them they didn't even take a report on, nor did they ever even go to the house to check on these children.
And you would agree with me, there's quite a few reports coming from Empower College Prep, right?
Yes,
And you know who Department of Child Safety, you know who they are.
I know who, yeah, DCS is, yes.
They're designed to, or their purpose is to primarily help children, right?
Yes,
And based on the information they received, whatever that was, they did not deem it necessary to either conduct an investigation or even go out and check on anything. Is that your understanding?
I guess.
Would you characterize that as them being inept, or that they just didn't believe it was as serious as perhaps someone else was?
Objection, speculation.
I'll strike the question, sustain the objection. I also wonder about relevance. I know that defense made a motion to continue, but we are very quickly running out of time. Mr. Brewer, go ahead.
Any of the individuals at the apartment complex check for background checks?
Did I check them for backgrounds?
Did anybody check them for criminal histories, background checks,
Objection, relevance.
credibility checks?
For who?
The apartment at the prior to them leaving where they lived before.
Who were the background checks on?
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Who reported that there was problems.
All right, I will overrule the objection.
That I don't know.
And when you're determining credibility, is that something you would like to know often, whether it has any bearing or not, but it's something you'd like to know whether they have a criminal history as an officer, right?
Yeah, it's something I haven't done yet.
Do you have any evidence as to how those injuries on RB were obtained from the 12th of July up until the 27th of July? Do you have any evidence through your investigation that says how that happened?
Yes.
And what's that?
Both Woods and Baptiste admitted to hitting her with a belt. He described it as being excessive and that the belt could have wrapped around to the front of her or from her front to her back.
And was that during this time? Did you specify that? Was that specified in the interview as to specifically when that time was where that was said?
That I do not recall.
So you're not certain whether or not when that happened. I mean, you'd agree that he said that, but when that happened, you cannot be certain, correct?
Yeah.
There's no witnesses that saw anything during that period of time that would suggest that Mr. Baptiste was the instrument of those injuries from the 12th to the 27th, correct?
Yes.
Were you aware of a neighbor who had the Baptistes over during the time from, I believe it was July, maybe 9th, 10th or 11th for some kind of function and had all the kids over as well as the Mr. Baptiste and Ms. Woods? You recall that?
Down in the valley or
This was up in this area, wherever it was. I'm not sure where she lived, but.
I'm not aware of that.
And that she indicated she didn't think there was anything wrong with the children apart from what she may have seen as Mr. Baptiste being perhaps a little controlling. Do you recall any of that?
Oh yeah. Okay. No, okay.
So who was that female or that neighbor? Do you recall?
And Curtis?
And did she indicate to you that when she saw all three kids, right?
Mhm.
And nothing alarmed her with regard to their condition, correct?
I would have to review Deputy Soto's report with his interview.
And do you know if she had a number of children of her own?
I do not.
One moment, Judge. Just one further question, officer or deputy, you don't recall during your investigation ever seeing $1,000 or 1,000 gallon water tank on that property that had water in it? Is that, did you not see that? Do you not recall?
I don't recall seeing that.
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lee, we've got 15 minutes the court has available. All right, great. Mr. Lee, go ahead. Definitely need to move that microphone over in front of you, especially if you're going to be talking at this witness. If you stand, that would be fine, but we got to make sure it's getting to the mic.
Hell, I'm tired of sitting anyway. Officer Soderquist, the autopsy report isn't done yet, is that right?
That's correct.
What's the holdup?
That I'm unsure. Maricopa County just hasn't released it yet.
Okay, but would they notify you, or are you the lead officer that they'll notify when it's done?
Yes.
Let me just talk to you about the injuries that you observed on this child, RB. Did you notice that those injuries were old or fresh, or what did you see? What did you notice about her injuries?
As far as, are you
They
asking
were
like,
old, if they were old injuries that were partially healed, or what did it look like to you that the condition of this body when you observed it?
they were not old.
They were what?
They were not old.
Everything was new?
Her,
Yeah.
yes.
Is that consistent with the witnesses that didn't notice anything unusual about marks on her fairly close to this incident?
Well, after the 12th, there was no witnesses that saw her until the 27th.
Okay. You have any idea where these injuries were committed? Any evidence of where they were committed, where she was injured, where?
No.
Okay. In Maricopa County, you told us a lot about some previous DCS referrals and whatnot. These people only been in Apache County 3 weeks, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of the stuff that you told us about happened in Phoenix, the running around the apartment house and all that stuff, right?
Which led into Apache County, yes.
Okay. And as far as the lack of the autopsy report, we just don't know why she died, do we?
I can't say for sure.
Okay, so you have no evidence of the cause of her death, correct?
Objection.
I'll sustain the objection.
What's the basis of the sustaining that objection?
I mean, as of right now, you're asking him to speculate where or asked and answered, given the fact that he says the autopsy report is not here yet. That would be the evidence. We are in a,
Mr. Lee, you asked him if he has no evidence. There's already been evidence entered in today's hearing regarding the cause of death.
Okay,
Not a final cause.
So what is the evidence of the cause of death? What's the conclusion of the cause of death? Somebody concluded that yet?
I would have to read the doctor's reports for exact details.
Didn't they just say it's consistent with abuse and whatnot? Is that all they said?
That's not all they said, but I'd have to refer.
Did they come to a conclusion, the cause of death?
Yes.
Well, could you find the report and indicate that to us, please?
If I can review, I would need to review the report, yes.
Okay, did you get the report? I mean, who said that? And what did they say?
As soon as I get the report, I'll be able to tell you.
Okay, you can't remember what they said the cause of death was?
Which doctor?
Any doctor?
Okay, they didn't
Did
give,
any doctor say what the cause of death was?
I would have to review the report.
You can't remember one right now.
I can remember what the injuries being consistent of, which led to her death.
Well, my point is, if we don't know what the cause of death is, how do we know who did what caused her death?
I'll strike the question. Go ahead, Mr. Lee.
Where did it happen? Where did the cause of death occur?
it's objection speculation.
That's my point. It's speculation.
Your Honor, Mr. Lee, I'll sustain the objection as argumentative and ask you to move forward to questions for this witness.
If I may, the complaint says this all occurred in Apache County.
This will be time for argument, Mr. Lee, and I will give you a chance to do that.
Okay, but that's why I'm asking the questions, and so I can't ask him anymore about Apache County, where everything occurred.
You can ask him specific questions about facts. That you can do.
So right now, do we know where the cause of injury, the cause of death occurred? Do we know where that was? Where did that occur?
In Apache County at their residence.
What evidence you have that it occurred there?
They said she ran away and they found her unconscious and unresponsive at their residence in Apache County.
And other than the two parents, the complaint says that they each participated in that. Do you have evidence of participation in the cause of death? Not the scratches and the bruises and everything. You have any evidence of who caused her death?
Aside from them admitting to hitting her and it being excessive force.
Are you claiming as part of the complaint where you say child abuse, does that include a messy house? Is that part of the child abuse?
Yes, it is.
And what was there that presented danger to the children again?
The animal feces all over the floor
Okay.
and the no water, and the no power.
Okay. All right. I have nothing further.
All right. Redirect, Ms. Collins, go ahead.
So let's address this idea that you talked a lot about Empower Prep and DCS. The same information you received from them based on your investigation were the same things happening here in Apache County.
Yes.
Did that include the lapse in planks?
Yes, it did.
Did that include being hit with a belt and brush?
Yes, it did.
Did that include no water, no food or no water?
Yes.
You were asked to say where the abuse occurred, but based on your review and your investigation, is it your understanding that this didn't just happen one time, one moment, one day?
This has been happening for a period of time.
And so while the period of time may have started in Phoenix, Maricopa County, is it your understanding based on the investigation, all of that continued in July 5th here in Apache County?
Yes.
You were asked a lot about the cause of death and all the things. I just want to show you what's been marked. This is State's Exhibit 96. It's page 37 from the entire document. We actually had this at the previous hearing. It's page 37 in that whole. So you were asked about what caused her death. I would like you to look at this and this is from Dr. Holder, is it?
Yes.
Not? Okay, so I would just like to understand the cause of serious physical injury and death. Can you just list down what Dr. Molitor put as his diagnosis?
Yes. So cerebral edema, diffuse traumatic brain injury with loss of consciousness of unspecified duration. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Transminitis.
Transminitis,
Traumatic
alopecia,
alopecia of abdominal wall, traumatic.
Judge, I'm gonna object. I mean, what is the purpose of this? The prosecutor is basically reading the document. I mean, it's already been admitted, I assume, and so the court can review it.
based on both cross-examinations, the cause of death has been questioned. I'm laying out the foundation that there are causes of death.
I'll overrule the objection.
Continue. So continue after multiple abrasions.
So acute kidney injury, acute lactic acidosis, traumatic subdural hemorrhage with loss of consciousness of 30 minutes or less, wedge compression fracture of unspecified thoracic vertebrae, pulmonary contusion, respiratory failure, hypercapnia, potassium, unspecified kidney failure, high serum sodium, and child physical abuse, suspected initial encounter.
Based on the investigation.
No, there's many.
I'm going to hit this briefly. You were asked about the Brady. Based on your understanding, was all of that by the end of that document unsubstantiated?
Yes, it was.
And as you sit here today, you believe you were cleared?
Yes, was.
You were asked about KB2 and the fact that he never brought up a food or water issue. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 62. And we actually talked about it earlier. It's the November 16th, 2024. So when reviewing this, is this based on KB2?
Yes, it is.
And look at this, but can you review this specifically for just about food and water and the treatment by his parents?
Yes, he states there's no food at home and that mom and dad make him do planks for his punishment.
So he did share with law enforcement previously that this was happening.
Yes.
Okay, I want to address the SANE exams. So I've already shown these to defense. Your Honor, I'd move to admit State's Exhibit 57, 58, 59. They've already been reviewed by.
Any objections?
No, sir.
The court will admit State's Exhibits 57, 58, and 59.
Because you just go to page 67, page 6. Actually, page 7.
And this is of 50.
57. So
Thank you.
This, which exam is this of? Which child?
RB.
Page 6, is that documents that match with behind page 7
Yes.
for the court's understanding. So in documents marks on page 6, are there multiple marks on the picture?
Yes.
So can you just tell us what was Dr.
0.5 of a centimeter with surrounding traction.
Actually go to just. So let me ask you this, in your experience, was there 2 exams done in this case?
Yes, there was.
So going to the second one, going to page 6. Was the first one done by the hospital doctor before?
Yes.
So it's on page 7. Just give me 4, 5, and 6.
I don't know how to pronounce that, but
Oh, just go with this brief.
okay. Bruising to mom's pubis, bruising to labia on the right side, and purplish bruising to I can't read. Bilateral inquired regions or inguinal regions. Sorry.
Okay, so and that is RB's.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take just State's Exhibit 58. You know, there's questions that Dr. puts out. Where injuries are noted. Can you tell us where injuries were noted with a yes? Oh, and is this for KB too?
Yes.
Okay. Where were injuries noted on?
The pelvis, upper extremities, lower extremities, the back and buttocks, and the external genital area. the mons pubis, the penis,
And if you go to page 7.
red bruising with petechiae to, I can't read that, suprapubic area, red bruising to the pubic area, bruising to upper buttock, bilateral, red bruising over shaft of penis, red bruising extent to lateral shaft of penis bilaterally.
That's okay. 1 through 5 is okay. And then, in terms of.
Yes.
You were asked about, and Judge, I'll be really quick, maybe just 5. You were asked about the overall conditions of the house and what could have led to the abuse of the boys. Do you recall those questions?
Yes.
Can you also describe the time of year this occurred?
In the summertime?
So July 5th to July 27th?
Yes.
What kind of temperatures up here?
High 80s.
Do you work up here?
Yes, I do.
Are you aware of the temperature on the given day?
Yes, I am.
So in your position, based on the overall living conditions, would they have also continued to affect the 2 boys?
Yes.
Speculation.
I'll overrule the objection, allow the answer.
You were asked about the DNA swabs in sort of multiple fashions. Based on the same exams they're going to the court, were swabs taken for all 3 children?
Yes, they were.
You were asked about how, if your consideration or your experience with a bed for Rebekah, but was it your testimony earlier? Why was she sleeping on the floor?
Because she was in trouble.
You were asked about the damages that were done to Rebekah RB and why parents would take her to get help. Now, that's speculation, but can I ask you, what I would like to ask you is, based on your review of these injuries, no, I'm not gonna, that's gonna speculate. You were asked about KB1 and KB2 not talking about screaming or hearing anything. Is it your view over the investigation that both KB1 and KB2 on multiple occasions told DCS and/or Empower their parents told them they couldn't talk about things?
Yes.
And that has happened over the last course of several months.
Yes, it has.
And that included KB2 on July, did that include KB2 on July 27th?
Yes, it did.
I want to clarify, because you mentioned medical records for when she got jumped out of the apartment complex. Your review of everything, we have 2 sets of documents from PCH. To clarify, is one from July 27th and one from October 2024?
Yes.
And so were you perhaps crossed up when asked about her jumping out of the apartment, and could those documents have been from when she went to the QT?
Yes.
Do you have any documents that I've put in front of you that are from Phoenix Children's from when she jumped out of the apartment?
No.
You were asked about Anne, not giving any indication, or any neighbors, about their concern at the time. Is there any indication that any of them saw them swimming or without their clothes on?
No.
And while none of them gave concerns prior, is there anything a part of the investigation where now looking back, they do have concerns?
Yes.
And what is that, based on what you've seen in the investigation?
As far as the neighbors,
Yes.
that all of the injuries were hidden underneath clothing, and the children never said anything because they were told not to talk about it.
You were asked about other witnesses that could have seen this between the 12th and the 27th. Besides the 2 witnesses in courtroom today, Baptiste and Woods, do you have any indication that there was anyone else there who could have been witnesses besides the two boys and RB?
No.
And last, where's the two? One last thing, Judge.
You're done with something.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 32. Guys, I'm going to have you go to page 9 of 33. You were asked a lot of questions. Stay here for the microphone. You were asked a lot of questions about how little Baptiste may or may not have done this. Do you recall those questions?
Yes, I do.
You were asked sort of who did more. If reviewing the third paragraph, I'd like you to look that over. And if you, well, let me ask you this. Do you recall the specific details that Baptiste told the detectives?
I can't hear the question very well, Judge.
Do you remember all the specific details that were told by Baptiste to the Navajo County detectives about how often he did this and how hard?
Not how often, but yes, how hard.
So if you review this, looking at paragraph 3, if you could look at that, and then I will ask the question.
Does anyone object beyond the scope of cross?
All right, I'll overrule the objection, allow the question.
Did he indicate how often he would strike her?
Whenever she got in trouble, yes.
When he did that, how many times?
He would start with a warning and then he would deliver 5 to 10 strikes.
And when he would strike, did he describe what the pain level he was aiming for?
7 out of 10.
And did he give any acknowledgement to the detectives at that point that how hard he was hitting?
Yes, he acknowledged that he could have been hitting, or that he was hitting harder than intended, and that those could have caused the bruises.
And did he also indicate where he hit her with the belt?
Yes, on her butt.
Did he give any indication of how it may have gone to other parts of her body?
He stated it could have wrapped around to the front of her stomach.
During this time, did he explain so based on his testimony or his statement to the detectives and your understanding of it, is it his explanation that the belt went all over the place because it would swing around her body?
Yes.
All over the place is not specific.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that, Mr. Brewer.
All over the place unless he said those specific words.
I'll allow the question and the answer.
You can answer it.
Yes.
Is that okay? Oh, that's for a minute, but yes, keep that. Judge, if I could have just one moment.
Yes.
I have not yet moved to admit State 62 and 71, which are the DCS records, and the Empower records. I would move to admit those.
Any objections to States Exhibit 62 or 71? All right, I'll note the objection, but the court will admit for the purposes of this hearing, States Exhibit 62 and 71.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Collins, no further witnesses for today, correct? You can step down. Deputy.
And as he's our case agent, he can stay.
Yes.
Or do this or just go back to
Is
the
this
32.
32? I don't remember if this was admitted or not. I don't
32
think
was
so.
not admitted.
I'll
that was
return
just-
that to you when you have a chance. Clerk,
And
would
for
like-
clarification, the DCS intake, and we can check with the clerk, is 72, not 71.
The one that you wanted me to just admit,
Yes, Judge.
I apologize. With that clarification, it was 72, just to make sure there's no objections to that one other than the objection you made previously, Mr. Brewer. So I am not admitting 71, I am admitting 72.
Correct, Judge.
We'll first address, because it's first on my list, CR 2025-177 regarding Richard Daniel Baptiste. The court will find probable cause does exist as to count one. Court will find probable cause does exist as to count two. Court will find probable cause does exist as to count three. Will find probable cause as to count four. And just note, I believe it's a typographic error on count five. The last reference to KB2 references a female, but KB2 is a male, correct?
Thank you for, yes, we will correct that or have the court correct it.
The court will find probable cause exists as to count five. I guess I will address that one first with Mr. Brewer. Mr. Brewer, does your client have any offer of proof?
No.
All right. I will then address CR 2025-178, State of Arizona versus Anicia Woods. The court will find probable cause exists as to count one. Court will find probable cause does exist as to count two. The heading in count two lists aggravated assault.
Should be, that's a wrong complaint, Judge, I believe.
I have amended complaint third listed, but I think all of the, yes, the factual basis is from child abuse, but the heading on the copy I received this morning lists aggravated assault. All right. Under the rules, I will amend the complaint just for the typographic errors as to count two in the 178 matter. The statutory reference, the name reference of aggravated assault. I believe the felony level as well as dangerous crime against children in the first degree allegation contained in that heading are still correct. But I am finding probable cause as to count two on child abuse. And will order that that correction be made. As to count three, court will find that probable cause does exist. As to count four, court will find probable cause does exist. And as to count five, the court will find probable cause does exist. Mr. Lee, on behalf of your client, any offer of proof for today?
No, sir.
All right. We need then to set an arraignment date. Mr. Lee, Mr. Brewer, when would you like arraignment set?
We could do it the 8th, Judge.
All right. And Ms. Collins, does that work? That's this coming Monday,
What time you're?
September the 8th, and Mr. Brewer would be at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, 1:30, Your Honor,
Yes.
with leave to be on Teams, yes.
And Ms. Clace, will that work for you as well? Absolutely. All the parties in council may appear on our Zoom link that date. Because of the congestion, we may need to limit the Zoom like we did today to only parties, but we'll allow those appearances. So in Mr. Baptiste matter 25-177, setting arraignment for Monday, September the 8th at 1:30 PM. Mr. Lee, regarding your client and arraignment date,
The 8th is my regular day anyway, Judge, so.
Do the morning calendar that date.
8:30 calendar.
because they are set separately and the court already has those set up, I would like to set Miss Wood's arraignment also September the 8th at 8:30. For all those present here, we're saying 1:30. The court doesn't go on the calendar until 2 o'clock, and the 8:30 doesn't start until 9 o'clock. With Zoom appearances, will that date work, Ms. Collins?
Yes, or it will be Conrad, yes.
All right. And Ms. Clace?
Both the 8:30 and the 2. Yes.
Thank you. So in 25178, arraignment is set Monday, September the 8th at 8:30 a.m. with the court going on the record at 9 o'clock or as soon thereafter as possible. I will direct the correction of the heading in count 2 on the 178 matter. I believe the reference just to the gender of the victim in count 5 on both cases, and direct the state to file a copy of the information with those counts. Mr. Lee, excuse me, on behalf of Ms. Wood, anything that you would like to address today?
No, sir.
Mr. Brewer, anything additional from you?
Judge, I filed a motion for investigative fees on or about August 18th. There haven't been any responses. I had asked the court to grant it. We need an investigation to be able to go forward to do some additional searching.
All right, thank you. I can't tell you right now if I reviewed that or not, but I will ask staff to make sure that's put in front of me to review and rule on as soon as possible.
Just the glasses issue, Judge. Other than that, I don't have to see that.
What was the last?
The glasses issue.
Thank you. I think the order of the court will continue to stand there if we can get whatever assistance or decisions made there. Ms. Collins, anything additional that you need to address for today?
Will the court potentially rule on the motion and objections of joinder, or will we have a hearing on that?
I haven't reviewed them, so I don't know right now if I believe we need a hearing. I don't recall. I don't even know if the parties asked for one, but if I believe we need one, I would set it. If I believe I can go forward without that, I would rule by an order.
Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate it. Other than that, Judge, nothing else.
Thank you. Ms. Clace, anything that you need to address today? All right. Thank you all very much. Appreciate the assistance of all those who made this possible today. We will be adjourned in these matters.